everybody. Welcome back to Casa de Will. I am your host, William Castaneda, and I'm here today joined with reoccurring guest, my partner in crime, Jose Portillo.
What up, foos? And it's pronounced William Caca Negra.
Willy Caca Negra.
Caca Negra, like black shit in English.
Bitch. All right.
Nah, just kidding, man.
Today on the
up,
podcast, we have a few. We're gonna return to the game we did on episode 11.
I wanted to do that again.
We liked it a lot. We were cracking up.
Dude, that shit made me laugh.
It was fun for us. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We haven't even posted it, so we don't know the reaction of them. So,
well,
they hated it.
If they do, well, they're just gonna have to hear it one more time.
Because it's just really inside. Not really inside jokes, but.
Well, no, because it's a story. We each told like a story.
Yeah.
And it was pretty funny. But I mean, for today, we're only playing a game with me. Like William's gonna guess my questions because he didn't have any.
Come up with anything.
He couldn't come up with anything. And knowing my life, I always have so many embarrassing things that I have endless stories, dude. I have endless stories of stupid things I've done. So we're gonna start off with that, and then we'll probably steer to Portillo's corner, and then steer on to some other things after that.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna do episode 13. I was actually gonna wait on it because I have another guest. I'm not gonna name. It's gonna be a special guest.
Yeah.
Who wants to be episode 13? Wants to be episode 13 for the stupidest reason. I'm not gonna mention why. He'll explain it when he's on. But it's like it's retarded as hell, and he basically wants me to hold off till he's able to come here and record.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna wait because he said it might take months.
I know we need.
So I'm not gonna wait on him.
I know for real, because by the time like he comes, we're gonna be like lose all our subscribers.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not gonna wait.
Like these fools don't put these guys don't post shit anymore.
Yeah, but so we're gonna. And we wanted to do one again. So, we're going to do, this is going to be episode 13/14. So if he, records 13 by the time this one is supposed to come out, but by the time 13 is supposed to come out, then I'll make that 13 and this one 14.
Yeah, that's 14. Yeah.
But if he doesn't make it, then this episode's 13.
13
so
for
I'm
sure.
Sorry. Freaking.
Dude.
Freaking
special guest.
Sorry, bro. Special guest. But, hopefully the one he's in is going to be soon.
For real.
So this is going to be episode 13/14. I'm not sure.
All right.
You guys will see once it's released. So today. Should we start? Okay, we're just going to start with the game.
We're going to start off with the 2 lies, 1 truth. So if you haven't heard the last podcast, basically it's a game where I'll have I'll have 3 statements. 1 is true and 2 are lies. William has to guess which one the true one is. And I'm doing this 3 out of 3. So there's 3 questions, but I'm doing 3 different ones. Yeah. Okay, so let's start off with the first one. Okay, and I'm gonna start each one with like the last time. I once yada yada yada. Okay.
All right, let's hear it.
All right. For the first one, I once taught my cousin to drive stick shift, and he crashed the car. I once kissed my male cousin on the head, and my dad beat my ass. I once stole beer with my cousin from a party, and we drank it secretly while no one was watching. Which one do you think is the real one, William, out of those 3 statements?
I think probably number 3.
Which one?
Number 3, the one you guys
you stole beer?
Yeah.
Okay, that's your final answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll lock that in.
Okay, give me the drum roll, please, William.
That's not it?
That's not it.
What is it?
It was, I once kissed my male cousin on the head and my dad beat my ass. So what happened? Oh yeah, and this is the second part of this. We told the story, just a short story of what happened. So what happened was, we were like, you know those events where they have like fireworks and people just go park in like parks?
4th of July?
Yeah, like for 4th of July.
Okay.
So we were there. My dad was taking out the seats cause the van has removable seats that you could take out and sit them like lawn chairs, which is pretty dope. It's like from an old van the van that we have. And it's funny because at the time I was little, so I didn't know. And I was just a kid, and obviously I had love for my cousin, but not like, like gay love or anything. Just I loved him as a brother.
Yeah, you just wanted to kiss him.
And I just hugged him from behind the seat that he was sitting in.
Of course, yeah, from behind.
I hugged him from behind the seat, and I literally just gave him a little peck on the head, and my dad saw. And my dad was like, "You're gonna wait till we get home."
How old are you?
I was like 8, maybe 7 or 8.
15.
No, I was not
5 years ago.
I was 18.
And he was 12.
He was 12. He was 5.
Oh no.
No, my cousin's older than me. He's a year older than us.
He was 21.
He's 21 now. So
no, he was 21 and you were 18.
So right. Point is, my dad saw it, and you know, if you live in an Hispanic household, you know that doing shit like that. Well, depending on how your dad is, my dad saw that as like, nah, you're gay, dude. And like he didn't specifically say that, but obviously that's what he was implying. He was
like, bro, you're gay? He's like, for real?
The fuck?
All right, let's see if you like it in the butt. Let's see if you like it after this,
nigga. Let's see if you're true one.
I'm a warrior.
I'm a warrior. Point is, I got home, dude. My dad fucking kicked my ass with the belt, and he's like, "Don't you ever
ass with the belt?"
Yeah, he's like, "Don't you ever do that again." I'm like, "What did I do?" And my mom was so pissed. She's like, "He just kissed him because he loves his cousin." He's like, "No." He's like, "Men aren't supposed to do that." I'm like, "The fuck? Kind of this shit's going on, dude." I was so scared. I was like in the corner, fucking shaking.
How did you kiss him though? How did you kiss him?
Like I came from behind the seat and I kissed him on top of his head, like that.
And he beat your ass because of that?
He beat my ass because of that. Because my dad's the kind of person that believes in the macho shit and stuff.
Well, he didn't have to beat your ass. He could have just told you. He didn't have to.
Well, you know how some parents are when they believe in shit and religious stuff. They don't give a fuck. They just believe in what they believe.
Yeah.
And knowing my dad, he's stubborn. Regardless what you tell him about anything, he'll stick to his beliefs. You know, that's how older generations.
That's true.
Okay, on to the next one. Ready? I once accidentally ate food that was expired, but I didn't care. I once fell on my dog when he was a puppy and I hurt him. I once held my mom's purse and I walked around acting like a girl.
Okay, say them again.
Okay, so the first one was, I once accidentally ate food that was expired and didn't care. I once fell on my dog when he was a puppy and I hurt him really bad, but I didn't care.
Wait, you did? Okay.
I once had to hold my mom's purse and I walked around acting like a girl when I did. Which one is the true statement? I made these a little bit harder for you because the last ones you got pretty easy from the first one.
Okay, this one I don't know for sure.
Okay.
This one I'm not sure. Let's say the expired food one.
Expired food? Drum roll, please.
I do that. What?
Yeah.
So you tell me you've never eaten expired food before?
No. What? No, I'm so paranoid about expired food, dude.
Why?
Cause I'm gonna get sick.
You're not gonna get sick.
The only thing that I'm okay with is maybe milk because milk isn't always accurate when it comes to the dates.
What? Milk is the one I wouldn't trust. I would trust the other ones.
No.
Okay. I would eat any other food.
No, but I'm saying like, have you ever taken out milk and then you open it, right? And it says it's supposed to be expired, but you taste the milk and it tastes perfectly fine.
It's not worth tasting.
Well, I mean, it depends because sometimes
the risk is too
I mean,
big.
but at least agree with me that milk isn't always right when they put the expiration date.
Yeah, but I honestly would not risk drinking expired milk rather than...
Well, I mean, the worst thing you're going to get is diarrhea.
No, the worst thing is... dude, the taste of expired milk is the worst.
Well, I know, but
that's chunky.
Oh, okay. Okay, but you can tell when you pour it. When you pour it, you could see like cheese coming out.
No, not all the time. Sometimes it's still smooth and it's still...
Oh, yeah, that's true. Sour. No, but you could tell when you open it because the tip of it smells like shit.
It's hard to know though.
True. Okay. The true one was that I fell on my dog when he was little. And
you didn't care?
I didn't care. Well, because I was little, I didn't give a shit. I was just like, I was so scared, but then I was like, it's a fucking animal. I don't care. But now, obviously, I was a kid. Now, obviously, if that happened, dude, I'd be like...
That's true. When I was younger, I would like kick my dog.
Like, honestly, like now that I'm grown up, I'm like, I can't even like hit my dog too hard. Or like tell him no, because I feel so bad afterwards. Like I'm trying to hug them.
Bad for my
like
dog.
Please come here, love me.
Jax. I still mess with Jax a little bit, but as a joke. I try not to hurt him too much.
The point is, I fell on him and I got up, and my sisters have always roasted me to this day. They're like, "Dude, this fat bitch fell on our dog."
Which dog was it?
Simba, the oldest one.
Oh my god!
And you know what's funny? It wasn't until we started working in the vet field, me and my sister, that we realized that the dogs have a dew claw. Because a dew claw is the little extra nail they have on the side of their paw. Now, it's rare for dogs to have them in the back. Most dogs only have them in the front. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. But when dogs do have dew claws in the back, it's like a little ball that rolls. So my sisters would always like
blame
me. Like they're like, dude, your fat ass fucking broke his toe when you fell on him when he was little. And it was funny because every dog's toe was like that regardless.
Wow.
So this until finally when I worked there, I told them, you guys gotta shut the fuck up because I didn't break shit.
Yeah. Oh, so they blame you this whole time.
They blamed me the whole time. I felt bad. I was like, bro, I fucked up my dog's toe.
All right.
Okay. Here's the last one. I once tried on my sister's high heels and my mom caught me and told my dad. I once had to wipe my ass with the cardboard part of the toilet paper roll and it hurt really bad. I once told my cousin I watched porn and they told on me and I got hit. Which one's the real one?
Oh man, these are hard. These are pretty hard.
Yeah, dude, I thought of these.
I've never heard of them.
I was like, I can't have you like figure these out so easily. So, which out of the three do you think? You want to repeat them?
Okay, I don't think your mom would hurt you. I don't think your mom would snitch on you when she. Well, maybe she would. I don't know if she would snitch on you if she had protected you when you kissed the guy.
True.
The cardboard thing is believable, but I don't know if it would hurt really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd be able to withstand it. And what was the last one?
The last one was I told my cousins I watched porn and they told on me and I got hit.
No, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's right. I don't think your dad would care if you do.
If I had watched porn.
Yeah, if you had. I'm pretty sure he knows.
He would have hit my ass if it was gay porn.
Yeah, he would have hit you if it was gay.
He's like, you watch porn? No, that's all right.
That shit better be straight.
Better be straight porn.
Better see a woman.
That's like, I was like, when I was a kid, I was like, how did the penises fit into each other? Like, I always wondered that.
For gay guys?
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's not how it works.
Okay. Let me, okay, so it's between the two.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I honestly don't know.
Come on, Will.
Second?
The
toilet paper one?
The toilet paper? Okay, is that your final answer?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, drum roll, please.
What?
Dude, that's 0-3.
I didn't get any right?
You didn't get any right this time.
Oh
Damn, I really thought these through this time. It was the one where my mom caught me with the high heels.
And she snitched on you?
So what happened was I was in my sister's room cleaning and I found their high heels and I said, why the fuck do girls wear these? Like, these look so uncomfortable. And I was like 10 at the time. No, I think I was like, dude, most of my stupidity came like when I was 8, 9, and 10. Mm-hmm. And I think I was like either 8 or 9 when this happened, right? And dude, I was like, why do girls wear these, right? Like, I wasn't like trying to wear them. I just wanted to see why. And I put them on and I was like, how the hell do you walk? Like, I almost fell. And my mom walks past the door and she goes, ¿Qué estás haciendo? I'm like, nothing. Which means, what am I doing in Spanish for all you Caucasians out there? No, I was kidding. So yeah, she was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like, nothing." And I literally threw them like off my feet, and they flew across the room.
It's pretty sus. I'm putting in the dad's perspective, seeing that.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
And then my mom's like,
on his dad's perspective.
My mom was like, "I'm gonna tell your dad," and I'm like, "But what did I do?" I was so scared, dude, because that literally happened. That was like after the whole thing with my cousin. So my dad, I knew my dad was already gonna be pissed because of the first thing that happened. So I was like, "Fuck, I fucked up again." Yeah. And then she told my dad, and my dad was like, "Why were you wearing high heels?" I was like, "I didn't know they were for girls. I just wanted to know how it felt. How like I don't know why like women wear these. They're so uncomfortable." And surprisingly, my dad didn't beat my ass.
Maybe he's like, "I've been there, little nigga. Don't worry.
I've been there too.
I've been curious too."
No, honestly, yeah. You know why? Because I think it was later when I was older. I don't know if this is true or not.
He can't say shit because I've seen him like in women's clothing too.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of him in women's clothing.
Oh yeah, when he put on the fucking
wigs,
fucking wigs for Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
You should have beat his ass.
I know, dude.
You're gonna learn today, old man.
How many times do we have to it's like SpongeBob. He's like, how many times do we have to kick your ass before you understand?
Yeah.
He's like, I love young people. Point is, he kicked my ass because apparently my mom told me later when I was older that supposedly he told her that when he was young he did that and he got his ass kicked.
Oh, so he used to be gay.
So he's a
closeted.
No, but I'm like,
gay.
I mean, it's understandable. I feel like every male has maybe thought once or twice, like, no, like what the fuck? Like, why do girls wear high heels? Which is funny because apparently high heels were created for men, like for butchers, so that they wouldn't step on guts and like shit that was on the floor. like in the butcher shops, and then women started wearing them to seem more masculine. But then like women just kind of wore them more to the point where men didn't want to wear them anymore.
How the turntables?
Turntables? You mean the tables turned?
Just kidding. It's an office preference.
Oh yeah. Okay, never mind.
Oh, I didn't know that though. That's interesting.
Yeah, honestly, I was like really surprised because I always thought heels were women's things.
They look so uncomfortable though. I don't know how girls do it.
Supposedly, it makes their butt look smaller, and also
I heard it makes it look bigger.
I've heard different things. I've heard it makes it look bigger and makes it look smaller. I don't know. I can't tell because I mean Rosario doesn't really wear high heels.
Well, it's fashion for one. It makes them look taller, and it makes their figure look better, something like that.
Honestly,
that's how it is.
I need to look at Rosario next time she wears high heels. Because I'm not sure.
Rosario.
I haven't
look it up.
Huh?
Just all you have to do is look it up. He's gonna look at Rosario.
Well, yeah, obviously that's my girlfriend. Look, I want to see.
Don't look at her until you're married.
FYI, after all the sex stories I've said, believe it or not, guys, I'm abstinent.
Excuse me?
You didn't know that?
What?
You didn't know I was abstinent? I'm a born again Christian. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, dude. I fuck like a rabbit. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm telling you, trying to kiss me.
I'm blowing William kisses right now from her. Cause I'm a horny boy. No, just kidding. No, I mean I'm more cleaner about my stuff now, and I'm less hornier now because I've passed the puberty stage. I'm in the adult stage where we don't give a fuck about sex. All we care about is money and living life.
I'm past the puberty. I think I'm past the horny stage too.
Me too, yeah. Cause that was a weird period, dude.
When I first started dating Yesenia, like my hormones were raging.
Same thing with Rosario, dude. But here's the weird part.
I had to learn self-control. I was getting worried for myself.
He's like, I was 2 jerks away.
I was worried about my relationship.
Yeah. You know what I was going to say? Huh. I was like, I had to control myself. It was like, I was 2 jerks away from going blind.
Yeah, for real.
Dude. I always heard that.
I have self-control and I'm good now.
You know, that's a myth.
What?
That jerking too much makes you go blind.
I've never even heard about that.
I heard about that so many times in high school because I remember everyone would tell me like...
what's the science behind that?
I don't know. Like, how the fuck would you go blind from jerking?
Are you going in your eyes?
All I know is that I remember George, an old friend of ours, would always tell me that the guy that's known that killed himself was because he jerked 80 times off in one day.
He didn't kill himself. He just died because of it.
He died. Oh yeah, technically he killed himself.
You think he was trying to kill himself, or he was just like
Well, I don't think he tried to kill himself, but he did kill himself in the process of doing it.
He died, but did he kill himself?
Technically, yeah, because he was
accident. It wasn't a suicide.
I know it wasn't a suicide, but he didn't intentionally do it, but he technically did kill himself.
Would you say that's a suicide? It's the same thing? Is that the same thing?
I feel like suicide is like intentionally killing yourself.
But he didn't intentionally kill himself.
No, that's what I'm saying. He didn't intentionally do it. That's what I'm saying.
He accidentally killed himself.
He accidentally killed himself.
I don't know why, for some reason, when you said killed himself, it felt like...
Suicide?
Yeah, but this was...
Like some kind of Suicide Squad. Y'all jokers must be crazy.
They're making a new one. You know,
Trash, dude.
James Gunn's directing it.
I don't know about that, dude.
You know who that is?
Fuck,
Guardians of the Galaxy guy?
Yeah, but that's something like... fuck, why are you gonna make a trash...
And it's not gonna be called Suicide Squad.
It's gonna be called the Dink Squad. I don't know.
And I don't know how to pronounce his name. Like Taki Iwadi, the guy that directed Ragnarok. Supposedly he's gonna be in it.
Oh, for real, bruh? You know, I just realized moving forward into the MCU, it sucks because Stan Lee's not gonna be there anymore.
Dude, it's not like he was right. He didn't do nothing.
I know he was just cameo, but that's like cool.
Oh yeah,
it's like fan service, honestly.
Yeah, it was cool.
Okay, so I want to move on now from the game.
I was gonna mention something though.
Oh, what? You're gay?
No.
Just kidding.
It's okay. I was gonna mention like DC, but let's move on.
The way you said it, nah, it's okay. I'm a little.
We'll talk more about Marvel for all you Marvel fans.
All right.
We have a scheduled one with Joel and Portillo, but not now.
Not now.
I don't know if you guys would like the Marvel discussion, but we will have one soon.
So, guys, how's your day? Let us know in the comments.
What? Why? No.
Because I
tell us
want to
how
know
much
how my
you pay.
fellow peeps are doing, man. They're the ones that are making this happen.
What are our fans called?
They're the ones that are paying for a McDonald's chicken dollar sandwich.
I'm paying for everything.
I know, for real. Don't worry, William. Don't worry, William. I'll help you out. I'll give you 50 cents.
Thank you for your contribution.
Don't worry, guys. We're going to start a Patreon.
I'm going to start a Patreon, and people are going to go on the link, and it's going to say 0 out of 0 patrons, and it's going to be embarrassing. Because I know for sure people are going to click on the link. I'm like, how many people are paying Will?
I know.
It's going to say 0, and it's going to be like the rewards for like how much you owe. And I'm going to be like only one on my Patreon paying.
Dude, we're going to end up paying more for the Patreon than what we get.
Dude, I'm going to pay for the Patreon. I'm going to pay for my own Patreon. I actually lose money because freaking Patreon takes like 10%?
Yeah, for real. You get a
like
cent.
5%.
They take you get like 50 cents. Yeah, you only get 25 cents back. Because they take
losing money.
You're losing money, dude.
But I think people are going to think that I'm getting money and they're going to want to invest.
Oh, no.
If you want this podcast to continue, pay my Patreon.
Yeah, or else, guys, we're going to end up homeless. We're not going to have any podcast.
The hours that you have spent listening, you have saved so much money that you could have spent on something else.
Yeah, guys. And don't worry.
This is free.
It is free.
This is free. It's on YouTube. You can watch it for free.
On
If you're paying for Spotify, you're paying for Spotify, but I mean, you're getting this for free.
Yeah, you can still listen to this even if you're not paying for Spotify.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because Spotify is free. It's just with commercials.
I wonder if you can listen to podcasts free.
Yeah, you can. I used to before I got premium.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, you're listening to Spotify free. You're listening to iTunes free.
You know, I feel like eventually we're going to have to, like, if we really need to make money, I know, honestly, I wouldn't want to do this because I feel like every podcast person does this to make money. Because I honestly like doing this just for the
Patreon?
No, not the Patreon. Where they do like, subscribers who pay extra or something will get like extra content.
I could do that. Honestly, wouldn't mind doing that because I want to release it as soon as we record it.
Yeah, like I feel like we can do that. Like you can get early access to our podcast.
Get pictures.
And also
Get stuff from us.
We should. Honestly, I want to make our own merch. Like,
I'll be down for that.
We should start making merch, honestly.
Casa de Will.
And
merch about the conversations we have, like the stories we have.
For real. Oh, FYI.
We'll make it the best quality.
Hey, can I speak about my upcoming thing that I'm going to do with my music?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Advertise.
Advertise here in Casa de Will. So if you guys don't know, I make music. Sleepless Pisces is my channel. Hopefully William can put a link in the description. I'm trying to get my music out there, but I'm going to do a live on Instagram where thanks to William's crew and members here at the house, he's going to let me use his house as a little studio to perform all my hits. And, yeah, I'm trying to advertise. I don't know when the date is set. Just, follow me on Instagram at the official Sleepless Pisces or at what's my other Instagram? Nitro Sunset, I think. Cause I'm going to be posting about it. It's, at Nitro Sunset. And usually my name is Jose Portillo. I'm private, but don't worry. If you follow me, I'll follow you back. Don't worry. I'm not that kind of guy who just denies everybody. No, just kidding. I like having followers and people who like checking up on my followers.
Go follow Portillo and then unfollow him.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Bro. No, but honestly, yeah. Check both of those official, Sleepless Pisces and then Nitro Sunset, just so you guys can keep up if you guys want to listen. If not, it's fine. I'll
mention it on my spam. You should follow my spam.
Yeah, follow William's spam too. His spam
quality content.
Dude, your spam's fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna
follow
lie.
Intergalactic Wanker.
You know what that reminds me of?
Intergalactic Wanker.
We once had a meme war, and that was like the most randomest thing to ever happen.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you're not part of a group of friends and you're listening to this, we have friends in our group who have spam accounts on Instagram. It's kind of dumb, but they get to post what they want. Like we make our own memes because on our group chat we make memes of each other.
Yeah,
and like jokes and pictures of each other,
like inside jokes.
And inside jokes, yeah. And so basically, everyone in our group chat has a spam. Nice.
Yeah.
But Portillo has a spam. I have a spam. Rem has a spam. Joel has a spam. Frank has a spam. These are all of our friends. Frank, Carlos had a spam. Yeah, that's it, right?
Kevin had a spam too, right?
No, Kevin doesn't have a spam.
No, right.
Sus has a spam.
Oh, Rosario has a spam too.
Rosario has a spam.
My girlfriend.
And, at one point, we had a meme war which is basically.
Oh my god!
It sounds lame when I use meme, but it basically was a meme war.
There was a meme war.
And we made memes about each other because they were roasting. Well, I forgot how it started.
We had basically we basically had teams, and I was on William's side because at first I think I was against you.
Portillo spam teamed up with me, and then it was me, Portillo, and Rosario against Rem, Carlos, and Joel.
Oh my god!
And
dude.
we made memes, and we said I was making a big deal. I was like, okay, at dawn we will attack.
I remember that. I was so excited.
That whole day, I was creating so many ideas. It was inside jokes. It was public jokes. It was like just roast. It was about everything.
It was funny. It was a big amount.
At that time, like I kept hyping it.
Memes.
Like at that time, I was posting on my story like, "It's almost time." Like at dawn, and I'm like, "They ain't ready. Like they don't know what they started," and blah blah blah.
Oh my god!
And I'd post like early memes like this is like it would show like an audience looking at a guy and a guy was holding something. It says this is Will. It says like the guy was Will and it says the thing he's holding says the memes everyone's waiting for at 12 o'clock. So finally 12 o'clock hit. Me and Portillo released all of our memes at the same time. It was like 50 plus.
There's a
50 plus pictures at least.
let me just describe some of the easy ones to describe.
No. Just follow it's bad to describe meme. It ruins it. Okay. Just follow Intergalactic Wanker and yours. What's your spam?
Portillo _spamming _
Wait, mine is still Intergalactic Wanker.
You'll find some. But when you find it, I think memes. Mine is. I only have like 40. I have like 56 posts, but other than that, you'll see a bunch of the memes that were on there.
Yeah, Intergalactic.
Dude, there's
Wanker.
so many. Oh my god. Yeah, like look at this one. Joel spam, Portillo spam.
Yeah, I posted a lot. If you go all the way to the beginning of my spam, I don't know what.
See, like this one, I was against you, Will.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
well, let's move on. Let's not talk about this. Oh my god.
Yeah,
you'll see what we're laughing at.
Yeah, just if you follow Will, I think you tagged me. My spam is on there too. Yeah. It's Portillo _spamming _ and it's like a picture of a nuke explosion.
Yeah. All right then. Let's go to the next topic.
Okay, so we were gonna talk about very like important experiments in human history, but also some bad ones, I guess.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna talk about experiments. Our next topic is experiments.
Experiments.
So, do you want to start?
Yeah. Okay. I'll go with my first one.
Inform me. Portillo's gonna inform you guys with some interesting stuff.
I'm about to teach you guys a little something about history. Just kidding. Okay. I think it's called the milligram experiment or the milligram. I'm pretty sure it's milligram or milligram, whichever one it is.
Let me see how it's spelled.
The MIL and then gram. That's
milligram.
Milligram, right? Milgram. Yeah, Milgram. Yeah. So it's a Milgram experiment, which I don't know if William remembers, but Miss Spica showed us this one in class. Mm-hmm. It's an experiment where they had one person. It's basically here's the gist of it's an experience on obedience to authority. So basically what it is that they would put someone in a room with a bunch of buttons and they would tell them that these buttons or cranks, these cranks are connected to somebody in the next room and it's going to deliver shocks to them. And no matter what happens, no matter how much the other person screams or how much pain they're in, they have to make sure to turn the cranks as much as they can without stopping. So like if they tell them turn the crank up to 100, which is the volts of electricity, and you hear the people screaming, they have to do it regardless, right? But in reality, what was happening is no one's really getting shocked. It's just an actor. It's an actor who's pretending to be shocked. But literally, in the testing, there are people who literally don't even, like, they literally keep turning, even though they hear a person literally sounding like they're about to die.
Yeah.
And then they're like, they even look like, should I stop? They're like, no, keep going. And they literally keep going to the point where they finally asked the people in the experiment. Most of them were just saying like, it's like, why did you keep doing it? He's like, I didn't want to, but since they told me to keep doing it, I did. You know, I was listening to what they were telling me. Mm-hmm. So they basically saw that there were people who said, I can't do this. No. And they would turn it off. But most people kept doing it, I guess the experiment was just to see how far people can go. Like how far people would obey to the point where they're like, oh shit, no, this isn't right. Or like, no, I don't want to do this.
There's a Netflix show or series where they tested that out, but on actual people, but more realistic.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, the newer version of it, right? Because there's an old version. There's like a 1950 or 60s one where it's like in black and white.
It was no, but it wasn't like the actual test. It was like a. It
What was
kind
it?
of like a reality show, but they put it to the test.
Oh, they put the kind of the same concept.
The same context, yeah. Where someone would come in. I forgot. I don't remember. You guys have to look it up, but I think it was called like The Fall or something like that, or like the Build. I don't remember what it was called, but the person would come in. Everyone in the room and in the thing were actors, and they would have to convince. They would have to convince the main person who is unaware of anything, and everyone else is actors. They had like up to 50 actors, and at the end of it, the main person would have to push someone off a building, off a high rise,
Bruh.
and like they set it up where it eventually had to convince him to do it, and they tested it on a bunch of people, and some did and some didn't, but it was like to see like
how far
like someone would go to, would they be willing to kill someone normal.
That's crazy. To like actually physically kill somebody and just.
And the thing about the thing about doing tests like that is well, like the government stops it because there's a kind of well, back then they would do it like they didn't care, but people were really affected by it, stuff like that, especially like psychologically. Like supposedly the Unabomber, you know the Unabomber.
The guy that blew up, like that would send bombs through the mail.
I don't know if it was through the mail or if he would just place them random places.
Oh, and then he's the one that blew up like the building in Oklahoma, right?
No, that's the Oklahoma bomber. But I don't know if it was the Unabomber or the Oklahoma bomber. It was one of them. But they found out that when he was younger, when he was in college, they had they did an experiment on him where he would write his most deepest and darkest like thoughts and like insecurities and stuff, and then they would read them and they would make fun of him for it and expose him for it.
What the hell?
To see like how, I forgot what it was, like how
like see how he reacted. That's fucked up.
And it went on for a long time, like a few months, and like the people that were affected by it, like what's it called? Like they were just affected really badly by it psychologically.
You know what that reminds me of?
That was in his Memento. What's it called?
His Memento, or like his
in the Unabomber.
That was like his reasoning, I guess.
How was it called? Memento.
A memento?
No. The Unabomber Manifesto.
Oh, Manifesto.
He wrote like that was one of the main reasons why he did that stuff.
He did that because he felt like that's
he
weird.
Hated society.
He hated society because of that. But you know what? That reminds me when you bringing up like college experiments. That reminds me of I don't know if anybody's heard of the Stanford experiment, where it's basically they basically took test subjects, like they took normal students, some who would play prisoners and some who would play guards, to basically figure out like how prison affects people, but also to see how much people with power, how far they are bound to go, like
power hungry,
and then to see what jail does to you as well. And basically at first it started like an innocent experiment. They said they couldn't hit them. They just said you have to show them authority, right? But then the students that were doing it kind of took it too far, the ones that were playing the guards, and they literally would just fucking like they would like hit and beat the other.
These people were all volunteer.
Yeah, they all volunteered because they were getting paid for it too. They volunteered to get, because it was, there was money involved. But the thing is that sucked too is that the students had to stay there, but the guards they got to go home. Yeah. The ones that suffered more were the ones that had to be prisoners because they had to stay in cells, and they literally had to like act like they were prisoners. And they let it go so far to the point where one of the students was like at the point of suing because he wanted to leave, and they didn't want to let him leave. And he said, "I can't do this anymore. I don't care." He's like, "Keep your money. I just want to."
And the people watching, the professors watching, there were times they were supposed to stop them because they were breaking the rules, but they didn't.
They just let them take it like really far.
Yeah. So that was one experiment that also had gone too far.
And I remember at the end of it, the guy's like, "Why didn't you hit me?" He's like, "Because I know you're not an asshole." He basically said, "I know that you're just playing the part." He's like, "How do you know that?" He's like, "Well, because he's like, "How do you know I'm not an asshole?" He's like, "I literally took advantage of the power that I was given." So how does that not make me an asshole? And the other guy's like, well, because I don't know who you are. I'm pretty sure you're a good guy and you're just doing this as part of an experiment. But I guess the point he was trying to make is that anybody who seems nice can change in an instant once they're given power. And that's the reality, that I feel like power changes people. But there are some people that do know how to control power. Like they know how to, how do you say it? Not take advantage of it. Yeah. But most people will take advantage of it.
There's a show, I don't know if you guys heard of it, called Mindhunters on Netflix.
Dude, I want to watch it. I keep seeing ads for it since I saw it.
And it's basically a show about two detectives. And yeah, two detectives who basically back in the 80s, it was at the start of how the FBI was trying to figure out like why do serial killers do the things they do?
Yeah.
And what are the signs of it, so we are able to stop,
like prevent future like serial killers.
Yeah. So there was the new recent season. I'm not gonna spoil the story, but in the recent season they interview what's his name, Charles Manson. Charles Manson,
the cult leader, right?
Yeah,
cult motherfucker.
And basically they're asking him like why he did the things, because here, I don't know if you guys don't know who Charles Manson. If you guys don't know who Charles Manson is, he was a cult leader basically. That's a cult.
He had a cult that he believed that what his cult was gonna do is they were gonna kill white people and blame it on blacks, and they were gonna start a race war, and then they were gonna go underground, survive the war, and come out as the new like leaders of the new world.
So they believe in Helter Skelter, which
is
basically that's basically that.
That's Helter Skelter.
They believe that a race war was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So they wanted to speed it up.
Mm-hmm.
So they pretended to be black people, and they killed white people.
They killed a bunch of people.
One of the main one that made them famous because they got caught was when they killed Sharon Tate and a group of friends at their house.
So fucked up. Like,
and it was brutal. Look up the pictures online. Jesus, dude. Like, the lacerations, and like one guy actually got stabbed like 50 times. And if you see the picture of him, he is like
fucked up,
brutally murdered.
Dude.
But you know the crazy thing about that, and why even though Charles Manson wasn't actually at the crime scene when it happened, you know why like everyone always talks about him?
Why?
It's because every single person that was part of his family, the Charles Manson family, quote unquote, they were like people that you wouldn't expect to be.
Yeah, they're
it was like young teens who were like, one was a librarian, one was a very Christian, came from a very religious family.
Yeah.
One was like an all-star.
It was like people who were lost.
Yeah, they were all runaway kids.
Yeah,
but they were all like, when it comes to killers, they always have like a disturbed background.
Yeah,
but these were
like normal people,
and somehow he convinced a bunch, like a good few of them to do like violent crimes.
Like, imagine how persuasive you have to be to convince a group of people who are probably like not even criminals or have any sign of criminals to kill and murder other people for your bidding. Like,
yeah, that's why he was so big at the time.
That's why people study Hitler, because they try to like see what it was that he had that made so many people follow him. Yeah. You know.
So here's the thing. In the show, they're basically they have a conversation with Manson during when he was in prison, and they were having a conversation. They were asking like, how did you do this? Like, why did you tell him to do this? And he says, I didn't tell. Like, he was like a hippie, like he was playing a hippie.
Yeah,
because he was a hippie.
He wanted to be, well, before you continue, he wanted to be a musician, like a singer.
Yeah, but he actually has music.
Yeah, and
pretty good, to be honest.
And honestly, the reason he was like, I feel like since he didn't make it in music, I think this is what led to that.
Maybe.
Because I mean, you know what's so funny? That's kind of a similarity with like Hitler, because Hitler wanted to be an artist, and he didn't make it, so he just fucking said, fuck this, I'm gonna go become a dictator.
You know, Manson was actually like a copycat.
Yeah,
he used to he followed another leader who had similar ideas.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I was gonna say same thing for Hitler, but no, Hitler was known. The reason why he didn't make it an art is because the art he would do was just copy and paste kind of thing. Like it looked exactly the same, but it wasn't his own art. Like he didn't know. It
wasn't unique.
It wasn't unique art. Like it was a copy. Like obviously, like okay, so you see a painting, right, of like a man dancing, and it's all distorted. You're like, oh, this is pretty dope, right? Like I tell you, oh, I drew this, but then you find out that this has been drawn by an original artist, and you'd be like, oh, but you copied it off somebody else, and then you took credit for it. and then like the colleges that he was trying to go to, I think, didn't accept that, and he got pissed because, I mean, also supposedly he was a little bit of a shitty painter, but supposedly he did have good art, but most of it was like a copied paintings, which is why like they didn't want him. They wanted original art.
So yeah, like I was saying, so they interviewed Charles Manson, and basically the conversation that went on was them asking like why was he doing this? Like, why did he do this? And how did he convince them? And he said, I didn't convince them. I basically took away the fear of the things they wanted to do. And that was the gist. The gist was
taking
like,
fear
humans, away. This is something humans want to do.
But they fear
This is
it.
something every human is capable of doing, killing.
True. I agree with that.
All I did was take away that fear. Let them be comfortable with themselves, and they are capable of it.
That's pretty, that's kind of terrifying. I mean, when you think about it, because you're saying that literally what's keeping me from murdering anybody is just fear. So the fear of me getting caught.
That kind of goes back to the Stanford prison thing, because it was like, once they're given the power, then they'll
take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why they say, power to the people, but
I don't trust the people.
No, sheeple.
I don't trust myself.
No, yeah, because I mean,
I'm just kidding.
That's why, like, I feel like I don't know what it is, but it's
movies
not
like The Purge. Like, they're able to do illegal stuff.
Yeah, people
and
go
and then they do it.
Yeah, because they're allowed to. But that's the thing. It's funny because when I think about that in real life, I'm like, I'm not killing them. I'm trying to steal shit. Because I mean, I think it also has to depend on your person. Like who you are as a person. Because I feel like if somebody told me, dude, you can kill anybody and you'll get away with it, I wouldn't. Because I feel like, knowing how I am, I know like I wouldn't like killing someone because I wouldn't want somebody killing me. And then another thing is like, I know those people, the person I kill, their family's gonna fucking despise me and want to kill me as well. And like people would be like, oh, well, there's the fear, your fear of that, right? Get rid of that fear. I'm like, well, even if I wasn't scared about that, I still would feel wrong about it. Like in my head, that's wrong, even if I'm not scared to do it. Because, dude, I've had dreams where I've literally thought I killed somebody and I was scared shitless. But
that's fear, though.
Exactly. But there's been dreams where I've killed people and I've been fine. But I just thought like, fuck, why did I do that? Like, why did I do that? It's just like, there's a quote of, what's his name? Jeffrey Dahmer, that he says, I should have just gone to college instead, he said. Because even him, he didn't come from like a bad family or anything. Like, it's just I feel like what causes people to kill other people is just the curiosity of, what's it called? The curiosity, like what would happen? Because I always wondered that, like, I feel like people always wonder, like, what would happen if I, cut this person here? Like, how would it look? How would it feel? Like, I'm pretty sure there's people who have crazy thoughts like that. And the people who are brave enough, like he said, brave enough to fucking come forward and do that, then that's a whole other story.
Yeah, but maybe we should save it for the serial killer podcast.
Yeah, we'll save that. We'll have a podcast where we'll talk more about this.
We have a scheduled podcast
with a
where
guest.
We'll talk about serial killers with a guest.
Which is my girlfriend.
Which is Portillo's girlfriend. So we're going to do one.
Point is,
do
you want to talk about the next experiment or do you want me to go with another one?
What does that mean?
Like, do you want me to say another experiment or do you have an experiment in mind you want to talk about?
No, go ahead. Say all yours.
Okay, so the next one that I have is called the Bobo doll experiment. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay, so the Bobo doll experiment is basically an experiment where they would have children view adults do something to a Bobo doll, right? And then they would see if the kids were impressionable and would reenact to it. Like, basically to see if violence is just a thing we have within us or if it's a thing that is taught from like other people, right? Literally all the kids in that experiment, they would do exactly what the adults would do to they would do the same thing to the doll that the adults did. So like, this is the gist of it. It says, basically it says the Bobo doll experiment is a groundbreaking study on aggression led by I can't say it. Can you say it?
Psychological?
No, it's psychologist. I can't say. Psychologist. Jesus Christ, I cannot say that. Sorry. Yeah, it says it demonstrated that children are able to learn through the observation of adult behavior. So the point of that experiment was to prove that kids can learn through adults. And that's why they say kids are super impressionable and their head's like a sponge. It absorbs everything they see. That's why that's why they say don't say certain things and don't do certain things in front of kids, because kids don't fully understand what it is, but yet they still do it because they're impressionable. Like they'll be like, oh, because I remember like in movies when I would see people shave, I wanted to do that too, because I was like, oh, that's so cool. How do they do that? But then it wasn't until my dad, stopped me from grabbing a fucking razor and told me you don't do that unless you have facial hair. And my sisters did that too when they were younger. They cut themselves like with fucking razors, thinking they were shaving themselves. I was like, bruh. And then another one I have, I'll probably say it after. Do you have one? Do you want to say about?
No, go.
Okay, the last one is it's kind of like the worst one. It's called the monster study, right? And basically, to give a gist of it, let me tell you. So it was dubbed the monster study, right? And as some of John's peers were horrified that he would experiment on orphan children to confirm a hypothesis, and the experiment was to keep hidden for fears. It says the experiment was kept hidden for fear Johnson's reputation would be tarnished, right? In the wake of human experiments conducted by so the monster study. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it was this I think this is the one where if I'm correct, the monster study was basically where they took this orphan, right? And I don't know if I'm thinking of the right one. There might be a different name, but if you guys have heard of this, it's about a guy who basically took a child, right? And they made the kid act like a girl. Like they gave him pure feminine things. They try to make him as female as possible because they wanted to see if gender is a biological thing or a thing that could just be taught, right? Uh-huh. And they basically made him like change everything like girl wise to the point where when he grew up, he basically killed himself because he didn't know who he really was. And I mean, that was the basic gist of it, but I don't know if that's the name of it or because I remember a lot of people didn't want, like the people who did the experiment didn't want the actual person that did it to get exposed because they didn't want to know like the inhumane things that they did, like how they basically forced them to only use female things and only forced them to be able to do things girls do. Even though I think that the kid had like had that what's it called? Had the like the male genes.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know. There's so many different experiments that I feel like people, when it comes to experiments, I feel like people really I know taking it far is the point of it, to see what happens. But there's sometimes that I feel like experiments are taken way too far. And like, I know they're based for science, but it's just fucked up. People have died from different experiments.
And that's why we have the FDA.
The FDA, huh?
Well,
FDA approved?
It's not for experiments. But
this podcast is FDA approved.
FDA is for drugs.
For drugs, right? No, for food too, right? For food and drugs, I think.
I think it is for food too.
Something like that. I'm not quite sure. All I remember is the FDA is from the Dallas Buyers Club movie.
But yeah, that's why they didn't pass it, because it's not experiments and they have to make sure it's correct.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I don't know if you guys ever seen that movie, just the gist of it.
Yeah, well, and the movie there in the FDA was shown as like the villain.
Yeah.
They were like, here, we have the drug to cure AIDS.
AIDS, yeah.
But because pharmaceuticals is such a big industry, they don't want people to get healed. Like, they want them to keep spending.
Exactly. That's why that doesn't help. That's what my dad would tell me when I was younger. Obviously in El Salvador and in Mexico, I don't know, in like foreign countries, you always get a certain vaccine when you're young that pretty much helps with everything. And I don't know if you notice, like parents or like adults, they have a scar, and that's where they got it because the vaccine's so strong that it leaves a scar afterwards. And apparently most Hispanics have it when like Salvadorians have it. Like, I don't know if you've ever known, it doesn't always, like, it leaves a scar to some, but some will have, like, a bigger scar. And my dad has one right here, and it's when he got his.
Oh, what is that for again?
It's for, like, it's for multiple diseases. but it's supposed to keep you from really getting sick. It's supposed to keep you really healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And what my dad said is that that in other countries, their medicine is to heal and to cure people. Over here is just to make money. And I agree with that. I agree that we literally just make medicine to make money. But
I'm sure there's medicine that actually help though.
no, there's medicine that helps, but I'm saying, think about how much medicine you need to imagine. Think of it like this. Okay. You know how my cyst thing happened, right? I have to take 2 different antibiotics and one for anti-inflammatory and one for that anti-inflammatory and also for pain, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't you think now with the technology we have now, don't you think they could make a strong antibiotic that you only need one and just, or have a pill that has all of that in one? Like, I feel like that's possible, but think about it. Like, I had to buy 3 different prescriptions for one little thing that I had.
Yeah. That's the conspiracy.
Yeah. And it's like, that's so true, because think of it like with insulin, right? Insulin, you have to buy the needles. You have to buy the insulin. You need to buy the tester to test your blood.
Well, I mean, that's proven that the pharmaceutical companies aren't really on your side. Like when they just prescribe opioids, like they prescribe them so easily. Especially, we have a huge opioid problem in the U.S. and a lot of people are becoming addicted. And have you heard of? There's a company called Valiant.
Mm-hmm.
That's a privately owned, and here's an example of one company where it started out in Canada. And slowly but surely, it started buying off different pharmaceutical companies, and with those came that specific medicine that they personally sold. And they kept buying more, and they acquired more money, and they kept buying more, and they kept getting more money, until they had bought in so many different companies. They're now one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the U.S. And they're known for or one of the main things, this is where Martin Shkreli comes in, where I told you about Martin Shkreli, right?
The guy who would just like sell stuff. Like, I mean, like he wanted to make a lot of money, so the drugs, he would sell them for a high price.
Yeah, it was
so he could make more money, but he didn't give a shit like if people needed it really badly.
Yeah, he's a name. He's a face for it, but there are people bigger.
Didn't he go to jail?
Yeah, they finally caught him. But there are people so much that they're so much bigger than him, that's so much powerful than him, that still do the same shit. He's just a face.
But you know what? You know what though? I feel like in reality,
yeah, there's something called a Daraprim.
Mm-hmm.
He raised it from $13 to $750 a pill, and this is a pill that people used. It was life or death with this pill, basically.
That you know.
And he didn't even go to jail for that. He went to jail because he had like some security frauds.
Wow. So you didn't go to jail for that actual crime.
And there are people out there they're still making money off like the poor.
Well, yeah, that's why I feel like
off people that actually need help and
need like
happens all the time. Watch Dirty Money on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the I forgot what the episode's called, but it's like pharmaceutical. It shows Martin Shkreli in the front, but it has to do with like drugs.
Like pharmaceutical.
Look it up. It's interesting.
You know,
see all the companies that are involved with stuff.
I feel like in reality, I feel like there are drugs that cure things like instantly, but I feel like only the rich have access to it. And that's another conspiracy I've heard, that like only rich people can cure their diseases because they have money, right? Because obviously, like, think about it, right? You need to buy multiple medications to get better. Imagine a rich person, give me a pill that's worth this much that can cure my shit right away.
Yeah, I'll give you anything.
Yeah, like give me this much money and cure me right away. Like they say, money talks, and I feel like most of the time when it comes to all this like drugs and stuff, it's a money hungry thing. And like there's a joke about this in South Park, like how Magic Johnson lived, and it's because he would inject himself with money. Wow. And the joke obviously was that because you're rich, that's how you cure AIDS. Because they're like, dude, he's had AIDS way before, like I think before the epidemic started, right? Or when the epidemic started, and he lived while billions of people died.
Well, a lot of people have lived too.
Well, I know, but think about the people who got it in the early stages when it was brand new, right?
Yeah,
I think he had it when it first started too.
That's conspiracy on its own. People think that AIDS was something created by the government to kill
black.
No, not black.
For population control.
for gay, population control,
and
for
they
gay
obviously
people and black people, I think,
and
poor people.
Yeah. And I remember back then, like, well, obviously I wasn't around because I was probably my dad's ball sack at the time, but, I remember like at that time, even my parents told me like that people were scared when, you were gay because
there was a lot of people dying.
And there was a lot of people dying, and a lot of people thought like if you were gay, you automatically had AIDS. Like if you liked men, they'd be like, "Oh, you have AIDS." It's like no. I mean, it was like obviously Freddie Mercury got it, but it's because he did fuck around a lot.
He was a fuck around.
He fucked around a lot, but it kind of sucks because if he would have got it like around this, like if the medicine, I feel like. I don't know, that kind of like falls into the whole like is it actually true? Because obviously Freddie Mercury was rich, he was a fucking rock star, so they're like maybe they didn't want to give him the cure, or maybe like
he didn't know the right people, maybe because he was gay,
right? Or maybe like the government had made it but they hadn't made the cure yet or something like that, because supposedly in countries like Cuba supposedly has a cure for it, but I don't know. That's a conspiracy too.
Yeah.
Like I heard there are many countries that have cured it, and supposedly they don't. Like America denies that that's true because obviously they want to keep. How much money, the pharmaceutical companies make when it comes to AIDS. Like you need so many medications.
Yeah,
billions, dude. And like you can live longer now, but like at the cost of so much medication. That's fucking insane.
Yeah. I do believe that powerful people, they're able to do a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the whole Epstein shit? You know what Jeffrey Epstein is?
Mm-mm.
You don't know who that is?
Who is that again?
The Epstein? Don't you remember the Epstein thing that was going on?
The guy that killed himself?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, why was he? I haven't like done my research that much.
You want to hear about it?
Yeah, tell me about it because I'm not.
All right, here's to the listeners who don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is, and this is really important. This is a really important guy, and he's someone that everyone should know about.
Yeah, for sure.
This basically proves that rich people have so much power.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you everything because last time I did it with Yesenia and it got deleted, but I went on for too long. But the basic is, okay, so Jeffrey Epstein is like an American financier.
Mm-hmm.
He's really
he's
rich.
A
very elite person, and he has connections with like the most wealthiest and powerful people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
A few years back, he was accused by a 14-year-old girl that that he had paid her to massage him in his home in Miami or Florida or something like that, Florida. And when that happened, FBI started investigating, led to more girls, and it led to like a whole cycle of sex trafficking.
Oh shit!
And it led to a bunch of girls, underage girls, who were being paid by Epstein to do stuff with him, whether it was sexual or
just physical,
physical,
like physical touching, like touching them and stuff. Yeah.
So they and it would have happened in a lot of his mansions in Florida, New York, everywhere. He was sex trafficking minors too, often overseas for sex parties in his home in Manhattan, New Mexico, and the Caribbean on his private island.
like foreign girls basically, huh?
Yeah.
Kind of like Asian women and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he had he owned some of Victoria's Secret. He was friends with the guy that owns Victoria's Secret, and a lot of models from different countries. Like those are some of them. He would find minors there.
What the fuck?
So they had a lot of evidence against him. He was facing a 53-page federal indictment, and he could have ended up in prison for the rest of his life.
Okay.
But somehow he ended up with like an extraordinary plea bargain.
What the fuck?
He had an agreement of 13 months in county jail.
13 months?
13 months.
It's not even like 2 years.
And he was allowed to leave his cell to go to work for 12 hours a day.
Wow.
12 or 8 hours a day. And he was caught, and only to go to work, right? And he was caught many times not at work. Like he was caught, like walking somewhere in the sidewalk, and his parole officer caught him. He's like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, I decided to walk to work. But he was a completely different direction from his office.
Oh shit.
And he was also in a private prison It was like a nice prison.
Another Pablo Escobar,
For real.
who made his own fucking prison because he didn't want to go to the actual prison.
So not only that, the deal, which was called a non-prosecution agreement, it basically shut down any ongoing FBI investigation into whether there were more victims and other powerful people who took part in the sex crimes.
That's ridiculous.
Right? And because he pleaded guilty, him and 4 accomplices received immunity from all federal charges, and the deal was worded that if there were any other potential people involved, they would also have immunity. Despite a federal law to the contrary, as part of the arrangement, the deal would be kept from the victims. As a result, the deal was sealed until after the judge approved, thereby stopping the chances of any victim to derail it. 36 victims at the time were at the trial. 36 victims.
Okay. And when did this happen?
This happened early 2000s.
Okay.
So, basically the plea bargain, it was basically written. There has never been a
plea like that done.
A plea like that, especially when the prosecutor basically lets the person write their own plea bargain.
Yeah, because that's not even by the government or anything. It's literally his own.
Yeah, he had like really expensive lawyers, by the way. So the victims were basically betrayed by their own prosecutor, who is Alexander Acosta, who pledged to protect them. Their own prosecutor that pledged to protect them, they're basically betrayed by him. Acosta was the Secretary of Labor under Trump, where he oversaw massive federal agencies that provided oversight of the country's labor laws. This is after, including human trafficking.
Okay.
When this story broke out, he resigned. When the story broke out about Epstein, he resigned. He quit his job.
And this was like in the early 2000s, right?
No. This is once Trump got elected. I'm just talking about Acosta at the time.
Oh, okay.
So that shit happened, right? So, and a lot of people thought it was unfair. He got 13 months, and they couldn't do anything about it because the judge had already accepted it.
Yeah.
And the victims couldn't do nothing because they didn't even know about it.
That
and
sucks.
somehow it's unheard of that even happening.
So it's like it never happened.
Yeah, basically.
So basically he got rid of like...
And the victims couldn't do anything because once the plea bargain was taken...
In effect?
Yeah, they couldn't change it.
So it's basically like sealing the door. It's like basically like a case closed. Like no matter what gets presented to this point, it won't be accepted.
So the case resurfaced in 2018.
Okay.
Because of the legal stuff that was involved in that settlement. So they finally got him back in case. And these are the people that are involved in this, that people think are involved in this because of different evidence that Epstein had connections with. So I'm gonna list all the people.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is how you know like he's powerful, right? He was former President Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew of the British royal family, former Prime Minister of major nations, former Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Barak, Larry Summers, former Undersecretary for International Affairs, Donald Trump, President of Harvard University, Mick Jagger, billionaire Leslie Wexler, owner of Victoria's Secrets, Bed Bath & Beyond, and others. The New Mexico Governor Bruce King, former New Mexico Governor, 2020 candidate Bill Richardson, Peter Soros, John Glenn, astronaut and politician, Colombian President Andres Pastrana, and his own lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, who's a fucking... Dude, he's an idiot. I fucking hate Alan Dershowitz.
Wait.
Like the major asshole.
Okay.
He's like the worst lawyer ever.
So, all these people that you just named, right?
Yeah, they were all involved with him.
Okay, but not involved, but involved with the shit that happened, or just involved with him in general?
They are
like under
they're suspect. They were suspects of involved with him,
bruh.
Because
Mick Jagger,
yeah, Mick Jagger, because they flew in his private jet many times to his own island.
That's fucked.
And that's where the sex orgy happens.
I've heard the joke. I've heard those jokes about Mick Jagger too. Like shows make jokes about that.
Yeah,
like in New Girl, they made in New Girl. I don't know if you've ever seen that show. One of the models, Cece, she's a model, which is funny. She's a model in the show, and like when she went to prom in high school. Like there's an episode where they all talk about how they lost their virginities, and they're saying whoever had the worst story is the winner, and obviously she doesn't win because she says, I had sex with Mick Jagger, and then it shows a scene where he's like, I want to make love to you, and then like they literally smash, and I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure she was young in that scene supposedly, so I'm like, is this like a thing saying that Mick Jagger's like a fucking child rapist or something, like a underminer or something?
He's one of the people that were. He was possibly involved.
I mean, fuck, dude.
Even his lawyer Alan Dershowitz, like he's involved, and he fights to have like the age of consent younger.
The fuck?
So it's pretty obvious. I feel like
it's obvious. Yeah. I mean, how obvious can you get like about that, right?
Yeah. A victim who says she was raped by Epstein, Dershowitz, and Prince Andrews is seen in many photos with them when she was a minor.
Wow.
So she was a minor, and you see there's a lot of photos with him. I think Dershowitz, the lawyer, Prince Andrew, and Clinton are for sure for sure were part of it.
That makes sense. Wait, you said Bill Clinton, right?
Yeah.
The president, right? Because I always hear jokes about like him raping kids now. Like, I mean,
Clinton was actually lied about how many times he flew with Epstein. Like originally he said he flew with him 5 times, and then the private records actually showed that he flew with him 26 times.
Honestly, I wouldn't.
Like how do you can't even fuck that up? Like between 5 to 26 times.
Yeah, and I can't like, how do you say? And I can't like, we can't put it behind us that like, I mean, he did shit with what's her face, his the one that he had sexual relationships with.
Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, like, I mean, if that happened, I wouldn't doubt that he did some shady shit. Like, have you seen his fucking pictures when he like he looks like a creepy guy, to be honest. He looks like the kind of guy that like, yeah, I got away with it.
Dude, Epstein was even invited.
Okay,
to Cuba.
So what happened recently? So what's the point of like?
That's what I'm getting to.
Okay.
So here's one person they're looking for.
Okay.
Right? So Ghislaine Maxwell, which is his former girlfriend, allegedly, according to the victims, was the one grooming and recruiting little girls into his service.
Fuck.
The FBI is still looking for her today.
They don't know where she is?
No, they don't know where she is. It's been
obviously months. She knows something.
Yeah, and no one knows where she is, but she can see in many photos. She's been seen in many photos with Epstein hanging out with Clinton and the Trumps. So she's connected to all this. And I haven't really read much about her, but supposedly she's worse than Epstein. Like she's done some terrible shit too.
Fuck. Well, no wonder she's fucking hiding somewhere.
When all this happened, when the whole Epstein shit happened, when it finally came back, people back then kind of just like assumed Epstein was like a hedge fund guy. Because Wexler, the Victoria's Secret guy, gave him $500,000 for an investment fund. So they just assumed Epstein was like a hedge fund guy. But when this whole stuff controversy started happening again, they started doing more research and they looked into it, and they don't know where this hedge fund went to. So they don't really know where he got his money, like how he was so rich. So he could have been doing other
another Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, exactly.
For real, because where the fuck did he get all that money from, dude?
Exactly. So they don't know how Epstein really got rich. There's different things, but they don't know how he started.
So now you're getting
So here's the controversy.
Okay. Here's what recently happened, right?
Here's a conspiracy.
Okay, this is what is built. I'm on the edge right now.
All right.
I want to know what's going on.
At the time when I wrote this, it says last week. So at the time when this happened, so he was in prison. The trial was happening. He was in not prison. He was in jail.
Oh, so it was brought up again recently, and then they put him in jail because of it.
Yeah,
right?
he was in jail awaiting trial. He killed himself in his prison cell.
Oh yeah, he committed suicide.
This caused an uproar. No one believed he killed himself because either murdered or they let him kill himself. Right? He was either murdered or they let him kill himself. If you want to understand what an absolutely enormous scandal Epstein death is, understand this. In the whole American criminal justice system, no inmate was more endangered of homicide or suicide than Epstein, and everyone in law enforcement knew it. And now, despite all that, Epstein still died.
Yeah.
And despite his attempted suicide 2 weeks before, he was taken off suicide watch 6 days later.
What the fuck?
Suicide watch means
like they watch, make sure that he doesn't commit any. Like,
and they put him in a room. They put him in a room where he's unable to do it.
Really quickly before you continue on, this reminds me of a meme that I saw that says when the people that got hired for suicide watch literally thought they had to watch him commit suicide. I was like, continue. Sorry.
So it goes, according to the Washington Post, guards were supposed to be checking in on him every 30 minutes, but at the time of his death, hours had passed and no one had checked up on him. There was supposed to be a cellmate with him, but his cellmate had been transferred on Friday and not replaced. Official says that his suicide was not captured on camera, despite the fact that the cells are supposed to have cameras. It is also worth noting that the last suicide in that prison was 21 years ago in 1998, so it's not a common occurrence.
Okay. And
this is something recent that we just found out. He had signed his wills. He had signed his will 2 days before death. Yeah. So that's basically it. So here's a really powerful guy who knows a lot of things, who had cameras inside his mansion because he liked to blackmail powerful people because he had videos of them with minors. So he knew a lot of stuff. They could have gotten a lot of stuff out of Epstein. So yeah, that's how you know. But despite all that, he still died. Like he was the number one person that they should have been, like, in the whole country that should have been protected because of the stuff he knew.
Yeah.
He could have dropped so many names, and I'm sure
Maybe that's why people assume that he got killed because he knew all this shit.
because he either got killed or they let him kill himself. Someone was powerful enough. The thing that I find more crazy, like my opinion more, is that the stuff that he knew was so powerful that even though killing himself would be a big controversy, it was better to have the controversy rather than the actual true stuff come out. Because it's obviously everyone was saying if he kills him, like if something happens to him, there's something going on. And I'm pretty sure the people that did it knew this, yet the stuff that he could have released, the names he could have dropped,
would have just wrecked so many people.
Yeah.
And you know what?
It would have exposed so many people.
I heard another conspiracy. This one's less likely, but a lot of people said that supposedly they faked his death. So the rich people that he was gonna expose, like they're the ones who like faked his death in order. Like they told him, if we fake your death and let you free, and you don't expose us, like this will be your chance to like start anew or something like that. But honestly, I don't believe that. I believe he was just killed because of obviously.
I mean, there's cameras outside that would have shown the body.
Fuck, man! If only you could take like I heard. That's the thing I've been hearing, that a lot of people.
There's photos of him dead. Like them getting the body out, and it shows him.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I was gonna tell you, I got kind of like spooked because I literally looked up his name, and then Google's like, would you allow us to locate your location right now? I was like, block the fuck.
They know.
They knew. No.
But yeah, they did an autopsy on him, and the only thing they found was
how did he kill himself? He hung himself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. The pictures look really creepy. Hold on.
Yeah, they had an autopsy. The only thing they found was broken bones in his neck, which is normal when someone his age kills himself. Like a chick. Yeah, look up Epstein and you see him with he knew a lot of people.
Oh yeah, there's this picture. Okay, so he is dead, but that's crazy, dude. Imagine that's another thing. That's an issue. Like when you know a lot of shit, it kind of sucks for you too, because you know if one day you get in trouble.
Okay, he deserved it, dude.
Well, yeah, obviously
he was having sex with.
Okay, obviously he deserves it. But I'm saying like no, it sucks. Like when you as a person know a lot of shit that can bring you down. Like I feel like people who work for the CIA, like they can't ever talk about that stuff, and if they do, they'll get like killed.
Yeah.
Like obviously he deserved it because he knew what the fuck he was doing. He was doing fucked up shit. But damn, dude, that's like obviously he deserves it. But I feel like that should have happened after everything.
Yeah, after he released.
It was
more important for it.
But imagine all the shit that we will never know now.
But do you realize now that he's dead, no one has talked about him?
No.
There hasn't been any meme. There hasn't been anything.
Like
the last thing I heard was the will thing. That he had signed his will 2 days before.
Yeah.
And that was maybe like 2 weeks ago.
I'm telling you, dude.
Nothing has come out.
The rich control America, dude.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't disagree with that, you know, and that's the thing that always scared me, because here's what I thought. Here's my hypothesis, my theory, right, of like the Illuminati and like everybody, right. So this is not 100% correct or true. This is just what I think.
This is opinion.
This is an opinion, but I feel like you're a normal person, right? But I feel like once you start to get fame and you're a famous person and you make money, I feel like the Illuminati tries to make you part of their group, right? I feel like maybe there's a boundary, like maybe because supposedly, like, you know how the whole thing with, what's his name? The actor from Fast and Furious that died.
Paul Walker,
right? So they said that supposedly he had a gift from that they gave him gifts, like the Illuminati, like the secret society gave him these presents because he was becoming like a big actor and he was making a lot of money, but that he didn't want to like be part of that. Like he was like a good person who just, he was happy with what he had and what he was doing, that supposedly because he rejected them that they killed him, or because he was becoming a good actor or something like that. So I feel like, imagine that's how it is in the real life. Like, we as people, we're okay, right? The society doesn't care about us. But as soon as we get famous and we start making money, I feel like we become a big icon thing. I feel like they come out and offer you gifts to see if you would accept them. Imagine like just because you don't want part of it, they end up killing you. Like,
no, dude. Were you there when my brother told his story about his friend?
Yeah, that was insane, dude. You told me that shit gave me chills.
Do you remember how the story went?
It was that like some guy paid to be part of it.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
So this, I think that I remember. So my brother told me that he had a friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think this happened to his friend. This happened to his friend's roommate. So his friend's roommate. This is what the friend told my brother, that the roommate came to him and said, "Dude, like there's this I don't know if he knew it was Illuminati, but he said, I'm not sure if it's Illuminati, but he said,
He said it was a secret society.
He said that there's like this secret society that like he says that he had connections with, and yeah, like I want to join. I want to join and see what's up.
Like
but,
what the connections are.
Yeah, but I have to like pay
Pay,
to
right?
get in because it's like really private, I guess. It's really secret.
Yeah.
So yeah, like my brother's friend kind of ignored it and blah blah blah. So time went on and the guy started going.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, dude, I can't, I think I'm gonna get out of it. He's like, why? Like, oh, it's kind of expensive and I don't know, like the kind of stuff they do is kind of like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
like,
they do weird shit.
It's a weird initiation. I don't think he explained what he was doing.
Like what it was. Like
Yeah.
maybe he couldn't talk about it.
Yeah, so he said there's like weird initiation and I don't know, I don't want to deal with it. So I'm probably gonna get out of it. And my brother's friend's like, all right. So time passed and the roommate's like, dude, he's like, so like I told him I wanted to be out of it, but they told me I couldn't. And I said I can't pay for it, and they said like, we don't care, you have to get the money somehow. So I told him like what the fuck, like fuck you guys, like I'm out of this. And they like throughout this week I've been seeing like members like watching me like from afar, like they're following me, like something's going on, right? And he's like, I don't know, dude, like it's pretty
suspicious.
like I don't know what the fuck's happening. Like I'm probably just gonna I don't know if I should report it to the police or something. And then what was it? He said like next time he talked to him, he said, oh, so one of the members came up to me and said, you don't have to pay us, but there's like a fee. There's something you have to do before
You can leave.
you can leave.
Okay.
Which is like you have to like watch something.
Okay.
Just like something about like the secrecy and like private stuff. Like you can't talk about this stuff like that.
Like
right?
like shit you can't talk about once you leave.
Yeah, once you leave.
Okay.
So he went. When he came back, he was just like a different person. Like he didn't act the same. Like whatever he saw had changed him.
Like brainwashed them.
Like brainwashed him.
That's weird, dude.
He would just say the craziest things. Like he would just say like the weirdest shit. Like he would repeat words. He like never came out of his room. To the point where like his friend was like, dude, what the hell happened to you? And like he just didn't respond.
That's weird.
He was just like very blank faced. Like something happened to him. Whatever that he watched or whatever they did to him, like. But I don't know if it was the Illuminati.
Okay, well, from what it is, I mean, I know there's a bunch of cults and secret societies out there, but obviously, like the Illuminati is like the main one, right? Where they hide their shit everywhere. From what I've heard, supposedly, like theories say that, yeah, when you get popular, they offer you gifts and stuff, right? Because they're like, oh, welcome to like the higher society. You know, you're making money. You're a big person now, like a big shot, right? But they said that if you reject them and don't really want their stuff, and obviously you tell them like, look, I don't want to do this, that they'll be fine. But if you start to like shit talk them or try to bring them out or try to say anything about them, that's when shit happens. Cause from what I heard is like most
similar to like what people say about Scientology, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Scientology, like if you leave, it's fine. Like they'll follow you and do shit, but eventually they just like, oh, whatever, you're out. And
I don't
like
know about that.
Well, I mean, yeah, they'll follow you until you finally like until you move or something. Because I've seen so many documentaries. I remember I watched a documentary on it that like the parents. So this couple, like they were married, they had a kid, and they were Scientologists. But they realized that obviously it was just a scam. Like there's just to get money. It's just a money thing. Like you have to buy all this bullshit that doesn't do shit. And to the point where they didn't want to spend money anymore. And they're like, there's nothing, like this has not changed our life at all. So we want to get out. But they had already brainwashed their daughter who, you know, believed in it harder than they did. Yeah. So, and you know, they blame themselves because they're the ones that told them, you know, you got to believe in this stuff. And they left, you know, they left the Scientologists. and they left Scientology, and the daughter, they can never see her again because she was part of the thing. Like they can't visit her or anything because now that they're not part of it.
Supposedly, I know what you're talking about. And supposedly they haven't seen that girl like in years.
No, they haven't seen her in years,
and they reported it to police, but they can't do nothing.
They can't find her.
Yeah.
And then another thing was that they were followed at first. Like right after they left, they were being followed, and like they were trying to see if they were talking shit about it, but eventually it stopped because they saw that they were just trying to like do their, like they obviously were like, oh, these people are nothing now, so we could care less.
There's a movie called The Masters, which they didn't directly name drop Scientology, but it's based on Scientology.
Yeah.
It has Joaquin Phoenix and Philip Seymour Hoffman. You should watch it. It's good. Joaquin Phoenix is so good in that movie.
Dude. He's the one who played Joker, right?
Yeah, he's the one that's gonna play Joker.
I love him. I love him in most things. He's good in Gladiator, dude.
No, honestly, the character he has in The Masters is probably similar to the one he's gonna play in Joker. I think that's
he's a cool actor.
I forgot.
He's an awesome actor.
Yeah, I forgot about The Master, but he was good in that one.
Going back to the thing, yeah, but like I feel like I remember
there's also a show on back to your not the Illuminati, but there's a show on Netflix. Not a show, but there's a new documentary thing called The Family. Have you seen the trailer for that? I haven't watched it, but it seems that it's like what you're talking about, where there's a bunch of like presidents and like powerful people that are part of this like big group
society.
Yeah, and it's called The Family. I haven't watched it, but maybe I should check it out.
Supposedly that society started like back when like obviously America was like formed.
Yeah, you know, George Washington was like a Freemason, which is like it's like a group of it's kind of like I guess you would say like the Illuminati. It's like a group of like a secret society.
Oh, okay.
And they're like really powerful people that have like they've there's evidence, there's actual stuff that say that they actually were Freemasons.
Yeah, like because supposedly they're the ones that made history.
Yeah,
like they're the ones that make
they're
shit
really
happen.
like really famous people that were Freemasons. Like Leonardo da Vinci, he was also a Freemason.
That's crazy.
And I forgot who else, but there are like a lot of famous historical people that were known Freemasons.
No, but honestly, I feel like whether these groups exist or not, I feel like I would just not obviously knowing the power they have, nobody would mess with them. It's just an obvious thing, but I feel like I mean it's kind of messed up, that they do all this stuff to people and like they affect lives and they do all this shit. But I mean,
you don't want to fuck with that.
I won't fuck with that. I mean, obviously.
How did our podcast go from?
I know from that to this.
True. Was it
like fucking game? Dude, they're controlling us right now.
Yeah, they're watching.
They're watching. No, honestly, I don't disrespect it because it's like, okay, it's
Oh my god, we have to cut it off soon, dude.
I know. How long has it been?
Almost 2 hours.
Fuck.
I'm about to reach almost 2 hours.
Well, we're gonna make this a 2-parter, most likely.
No. We'll make it a 1-parter. It's like an hour 30, maybe.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. Point is,
I have to go to sleep.
Yeah, I have to go home and jerk.
All right, just finish it off.
But yeah, like those kind of societies, like there's always conspiracy. Like no one will really know the truth until like maybe the end of the world or something. But like a lot of people said, imagine like the day that the world comes to an end, everything's just exposed. Like,
isn't it scary knowing that there's something so big, like no one will ever know about it?
Yeah,
and maybe like there is evidence for it, but then something happens where everyth's deleted and
it's never seen again. That's why a lot of people. That's like the same thing with Area 51. Like people, like it's funny. I saw this video with Rosario.
No, we gotta finish this, dude.
Okay, let me just say this last thing really quickly.
Okay, last thing.
Okay, so this guy is a YouTuber who would explore caves and mines, right? And there was one by the Nevada desert that was called the M Cave. He called it, right? He didn't go in because he said that when he went inside, there was a vibration that was so strong that it hurt his body. Like he could feel it through his body that he left. Like it made him feel weird. And then he said that when he went back, the cave was gone, right? And this was like in Nevada. This is like near the base, right? So he went back and people were saying that it was a hoax, that he was a bullshitter and they're talking shit. But he said, no, I'm going to find the truth. And he made his last video was of him saying that he was going to go and he was armed. And he said, I will take, no matter how long it takes me, I will find that cave. And then after the last video he posted, he was never seen again. Oof. And then a lot of people theorized that he did find the M Cave, but he didn't make it. Like supposedly maybe he was killed, he was abducted, or maybe they took him and they never took him out again. Which it's like, you know, I always wonder about that. Like honestly, I think the thing that I fear more than anything is like aliens, because I feel like imagine one day, because supposedly from conspiracies, another conspiracy is that, you know, supposedly we have a deal with aliens. We get to experiment on them, they get to experiment on us, as long as we don't kill each other. Like supposedly there's aliens that work with the government, and there's aliens that love people and humans and literally look like us and just hang around everywhere. But then supposedly there's the aliens that don't like human race, and they think that Earth would be better off with humans being dead. And supposedly like that could be a war that could happen, and like obviously the government's always trying to hide alien shit. And you know, I believe in aliens. I mean, I doubt we're the only thing out here. Why would we be the only shit in like a big ass galaxy? Like there's no point. Like I mean, even us, we can't even explore that far. And like us physically, like obviously machine, yeah, but think about it. Like think about all the technology we have, how quickly we've gone from a couple of decades.
Honestly, I don't know about aliens. I believe there might be other living organisms in other galaxies, but
you don't really believe in the aliens though.
That's one thing I need more evidence on.
Well, you know, my coworker says that he doesn't believe that they're aliens. He believes that aliens are just demons disguised as aliens. Yeah, and he says like obviously those are like the devil stuff, and he says angels are more disguised as like something else, like people. I'm just like, oh, I don't know, but you know, that's like a different. We could talk more about this another time.
Let me mention one more experiment.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Just to end it in a lighthearted thing. Because this is kind of funny, and just because we're going to experiment, I can't really bring this up in other podcasts because it'll be random.
Yeah, that'd be super random.
Experiments. So that was this experiment. I forgot what year it was, and this was it was by U.S. I don't know who was. I forgot who was doing it. I don't know if it was like the FBI or someone, but it was someone here in the U.S. where they were experimenting of trying to teach dolphins to talk.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard of this?
Think so, but not like the depths of it. I've heard of it, but not like
they were trying to teach dolphins to talk. So one thing they were thinking, maybe if we put the dolphin in like human conditions, maybe it would start to learn. Because dolphins have a brain, like they're really intelligent.
They're like as smart as us,
and they are capable of learning. So more than any other animal, I think, right?
Yeah. So, well, them and I believe elephants as well.
Yeah. So they have something in part of their brain that shows that they are capable of learning to speak. So they put the dolphin in a house with almost maybe like waist high water. So it can like swim around with a woman, and the woman would try to teach it
how to talk.
Like they had lessons and stuff, kind of like a class, right? Like homeschooled.
Yeah.
And when it reached sexual maturity, it started to like hump the lady, and it distracted the lessons. So they eventually started letting it fuck other dolphins, like female dolphins. But that just distracted it too much. It wasn't paying attention. So instead of that happening, they told the lady to start giving the dolphin hand jobs.
What the fuck?
So the lady started giving the dolphin hand jobs, and it kind of worked, but the process was going too slow. They wanted to speed it up.
They wanted to see results right away.
Yeah. So for some reason, they started giving the dolphin and the lady LSD.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they started giving.
Dude, that just took like a different turn. Yeah. I thought they were gonna do something else.
So they both got LSD, and the lady was giving it hand jobs. That's basically it. And then people found out about it. It was like, what's it called? Like canceled or whatever.
Like they just declared like
they're just
non-respondent.
Yeah, there's like, yo, what the fuck?
The term from thinking? Like I thought like they're gonna like actually teach it to like jerk off to LSD. Like,
it was like a failed experiment, but somehow they thought like jerking a dolphin off and giving them LSD would help.
So you're telling me that horniness keeps us from learning other languages?
Probably.
Imagine,
it is a distraction.
Like a jerk off?
No, just like being.
Imagine like jerking. Active. Like imagine somebody trying to teach you a language. They're just jerking you off, and you're like, yeah. Like, I don't know. That's so fucking random.
Well, it's hard to think when you're like, imagine like having sex, like and trying to learn something. It's obviously
that's like that's like getting head and driving. That must like I don't know how people do that. I don't know how people don't crash.
All right, well, we have reached the end of the podcast. It's past my bedtime and I have school tomorrow.
No, so I don't, but I need to go home and jerk it now because the story got me a little hot. No, I'm just kidding.
So thank you, Portillo, for being here on episode 13.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me back, and to our special guest, dude. What the fuck? Where you at, bro?
Where you at?
Where you at?
So thank you everyone for listening. Like,
subscribe, comment
what you want to hear.
Follow us.
If we haven't gotten 20 likes for the episode 11, go like it quick.
Oh yes, I can post my boil thing that came out of my ass. Also,
on YouTube,
William, if you can put our Instagrams and stuff in the description.
I'll put our spams and I'll put Portillo's Sleeping Pisces
and the Nitro Sunset, so you guys can be updated to when I'm gonna do the music thing. If you guys wanna listen, but don't worry, I'm gonna be posting updates on both pages so you guys know what's going on, and also give it a preview because you guys are gonna want to tune in because me and William are working on the dope ass song that it's gonna be lit.
I'm hoping Portillo with the song.
Yeah. William is good lyrically. I'm pretty good at like beats and stuff. Together we're unstoppable.
All right. Then thank you guys for listening.
Thank you for joining Casa de Will.
We'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.